Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you've all had a good weekend, good time. Hope you've had a good day today. So, my day went well. We did some cleanup work on the Cessna, just made sure it was all together. If you watch my Instagram, Facebook, saw the video from that from earlier today. Today's now the relaxing portion of it. So, what we're going to play with today, I was just doing a little bit of watercolor markering on our Chip and Dale little piece that Brian had done for us, or requested for us. So we did that. So what we got on the books today, let me put this off to the side, is we are going to do some Disney characters today. We'll learn how to map them out. Sort of like what we did with the Tiny Toons. So this was some of the Tiny Toons we did from last live stream and one from the previous live stream before that. So we're going to play with that a little bit. And except we're going to do Disney characters, and we'll probably learn how to do the little details and stuff to try and make the characters look correct for it. And then later on we're going to keep working on our New Year's picture that we had from the My Dress Up Darling. As you can see, we've made some more progress on it. Started inking some of the lanterns in, started mapping out and laying out some of the little festival booths and stuff down the aisles. And then at the last part will be some of the coloring stuff that we'll do on that. So, but in the meantime, as you come in, hang out, chat, relax, tell me how your day was, and let's get started. So, what we're probably going to do is we'll move these guys off to the side. For Disney, you think usually Mickey Mouse is the very first person that you have for that. So let me grab my, not that one, grab this one, got some left on this guy. What we're going to do is, this is just a pencil extender and stuff for my my Durant pencils. This is a 2B, so it will show up a little bit darker on the screen. As you can see from the new overlay, I made the image a whole lot larger, so that way you would be able to see all the work a little bit easier. Tried to make the overlay look a little bit more streamlined and not so cluttered. Anyway, what we got here is we have for Mickey. Mickey is, for his head, he's just over 2.5 heads tall. Just over. So if you draw Mickey's head about this big, you want to map him down that way so you know that the rest of his body and stuff will match, so that way he doesn't look too tall or too squashed. So what we'll do is we'll just do a nice little circle here. Nice round circle for Mickey's head. And about that same height, we're going to do another one down here. We'll do another circle. This is good practice for drawing same size circles. And you'll notice that my pencil, I'm not holding it up tight. Actually, what you can do is you can use your whole wrist this way. I also will do it this way, where I'll choke far way back. Won't choke up on it. That way I can use my whole arm instead of my wrist to try and do the circle. So by doing that, I can basically take this, and this is about 3 heads high, is basically how we'll have him. And he's just over 2.5, so we'll take a little line here, just a little mark, and that will give us our first line out area on it. So, and then from there we will start building Mickey. Mickey has a basic area. He's got his 2 ears, and you'll notice that when you have any turnaround at Mickey, you'll notice that his 2 ears are either always showing like this, or they're off to the side, but they're never like only one. There's always 2. So, and what we'll do is we will give he always has a nice little curve and stuff to him as well. Let's go ahead and just map out a little curve on here. So we'll do that. He's got an oval here, and then he usually has another oval for his other ear. I haven't drawn Mickey in a while, so we'll see how it comes out. So we go there, and then of course with the way his head is going to be, it's kind of got a little roundish point to it. So you want to make the sphere. That way you can see how the eye point position will be, because we'll put his face this way. Brian, howdy. Happy Tuesday night, brother. Hey, Frontier Man, how you doing? Yeah, we're just getting started. Good to see you too. You missed probably the intro opening part on it. What we what I was working on earlier before this live stream came up, was we're starting to work on the watercoloring on Chip and Dale. And I'll do some more work on that. And of course, that's going to go to you, Brian. Thank you for the request. Later on, we're going to do a little bit more work on our New Year's picture. I already did a little bit of inking on some of the lanterns and got some more mapped out, and some of the festival booths mapped out. We'll have to do some more over here, and then we'll do some coloring on that. But what we're doing tonight is we're going to start out first of all with mapping out some of our very favorite Disney characters and stuff, and we're starting out with Mickey. They're looking awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, I appreciate it, brother. But we're starting out with Mickey. Mickey, I said earlier and stuff, he's about 3 heads tall. So what I'm using a 2B to help try and make it a little bit darker. Of course, if you guys see the new overlay, I expanded the screen out to where it goes all the way across. That way we have a little bit more broader range and stuff for it. Kind of streamlined the new overlay as well for the live stream. But Mickey, he's just over 2.5 heads tall. So when you start to draw Mickey, you want to map him out to where that way he has the right height. So I basically did 1, 2, 3 circles, and I drew a little line right here just to kind of show just a little bit past the half. And what I'm also did right now here is I did Mickey's ears. The way, depending on which way Mickey's head turns, you'll notice that Mickey's ears, there's always 2 of them. They're either here or they're off to the side when he turns one way or the other. They're never like to where you can only see one. So we're going to work on trying to draw Mickey. And I haven't drawn Mickey in a long time. So I did a base little oval here, oval there. I'm using the pencil that I'm using. It's, like I said, it's number 2. It's so it shows up a little more than my HB lead, my hard bold lead. So, and I'm not choking up on the pencil like this. I'm real far back. I actually have an extender on this one because the pencil's a little shorter, because I've used it quite a bit. To where when I draw it, I'm actually using my entire arm. If you look at the front screen, at the front cam, you'll see that my shoulder and my elbow is what's doing the main amount of movement for it. Now you can also do it this way, where you can take the pencil and you can hold it like this, to where it slides through the hand there. To where you can do the same thing and you can use just the side of it, or you can use the front. If you do it this way, though, you typically would have the table tilted up a little bit more to where you're looking directly at the page like this. So that's why when I'm using it down here and not like on an easel or the incline much more, I'll put it this way and I'll push it back further. By doing that, it allows me to use, instead of my wrist, it allows me to use the whole arm. So we've mapped the ears out. We've gotten the eye line here, basically following the sphere. And this is the other portion of it. It's going to show like where his eyes are going to run through. We might actually probably put him a little bit higher like that, though, for Mickey's face. So, and like I said, this is all construction lines. You can change things up. You don't have to work with just directly into parameter. He's also got his little nose, his snout for his nose. So it's sort of like a little oval here too. So if we look at it that way, we can put his oval in. You'll have an eye this way, and and his eye's going to roll around. I'm here, but I don't see you on Facebook. I don't know why it's not on Facebook. We'll see what's happening. Everything seemed to pop up just fine for it, but I'll take a peek later on that. So, sketching out just his eyes. We're kind of getting the basic area to it. Mickey's very simplistic. Like I said, these are cartoon characters, so he's got his head. Don't be afraid to turn this page if you the art paper if you need to. And also, I know when you're drawing, you're learning to start new things. You have a tendency to draw small, or if you got a little sketch pad, you want to draw small in the center there. Don't be afraid. Use the page up if stuff. You're working with this. So nice big pieces. It helps you get a better line layout. So I do that. Run Mickey's face that way. He doesn't have exactly completely rounded ears. They're not flat either, so I'll probably give a little bit of a slope to it. Until you start drawing them a lot, it's going to be a little tough to get it right the first time. But That's why we're sketching him out and we're mapping him out. So when you map him first, that's all it is. So you want roughly the same area on it, so we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to put Mickey's ears over here as well. And of course his head comes down. So we're basically just getting the basics in for him. Okay, now we kind of have this little line area that we have right now. We'll probably want to run it more from this ear down. That's going to be our swooping line. That's going to be our dynamic line that's for his legs. His arms and legs will basically taper out at the wrists and ankles and stuff. So they go straight out. Anyhow, he sort of has, it's not quite a kidney bean. He's got for his body. His body basically, he got his area where it connects for the neck, and we're going to follow the same line swoosh out, and we're going to actually bring this out this way for his back. Okay, and then we're going to go off the front here, and we're going to kind of bring him a little bit of a belly down and around. And from down here, we want to make sure that in order to where, see I kind of did it too long, we want to make sure that it matches to where this body goes just below this second circle, so that way he doesn't look like he's too frumpy or he's too tall or too short. Now you see how when you do it this way, oh, I was supposed to have my CT scan, but issues insurance. They haven't accepted yet, so it can take another week for them to approve it. May require a chest x-ray first. Well, I guess that is what it is. That sucks though. What we got going on here? There we go. Turn off that. Well, hopefully it'll get straightened out and everything. So, I know how it is about doctor's appointments and stuff getting rescheduled. I had one rescheduled from last week to this week. So anyway, also, so I had it down there, but you see now how it kind of fits his body more, where that would have been too long. That's the reason why we use the circles. So now we got an area for his body. As you can see, it's sort of like a kidney bean. It doesn't bend in quite as much. It's more flat on the back. Now, his legs and his arms are kind of like noodles. Let's see, yeah, big time, more money if so. I'm hoping so. And it's a pain to keep rescheduling for sure. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. So here we're going to map out where these circles are. We're going to map out his hips and stuff. So we'll just draw a little imaginary line there so you can see like where his hip joints would be basically. And his legs are very simple. They're just like little cylinders. And we want to bring them like so. So we'll do one that way, and we'll map his leg out over here as well to where it'll come this way. Want to match it to the same height. Okay, and as the way his legs run and his arms will run, they'll kind of taper out, so they kind of are narrow at the top and they get a little bit wider at the bottom. Okay, so, and of course we'll do like show his torso area also like that, and we've got his. That's his mapped out area for what it would be for like that, for the shaping of it. So like they say, if you're to make it like three-dimensional, the feeling for it. Now, Mickey doesn't really have much of a neck a lot of the times, and like I said again, his arms kind of just swoop out. So we're just going to kind of bring his arms. Now, he doesn't make them to where they look noodly. So if you have a slight curve on one, up here, there's a slight curve here, this one's going to be really more straight. That way it gives a little bit more of a push-pull feel to it. It feels a little more dynamic to it. And of course his hands and his feet are going to be big because of the way his dimensions are for his head and his body being just a little over 2.5. We're actually going to make his hands a little bit big too. They're going to be almost the same size as the ears, is a simple way to put for like his palms would be. They'll be just slightly smaller. Okay? And of course we'll give him a thumb. He'll have his thumb that rolls up. And it's kind of rectangularish like that. So we'll have a thumb, and we'll just kind of do like a little area for his fingers. just for a basic area so you can get the mapping for it. Alright, so we got that. We're going to bring it across over here also for the other shoulder. And we'll bring this also right about there. See, we can, and we'll do a circle on this one as well. See how I'm not choking up also on this? You don't want to choke up that much. So, and my girls are in the house, so if you do hear them, you let me know, because then they gotta say hi. So. Alright, so we got that. Do the same thing, just a little basic shape for the hand, for the fingers. So, like I said, we're just basically getting the mapping out for it. Those poor girls. Yeah, they sometimes forget I'm live streaming and stuff, and that's the way we play the game. They have a tendency to forget. Now these also kind of have like a bean type look for the feet. The shoes are really rounded. They're not like his feet are kind of. And they will, being he's three-dimensional, this is sort of like just like a plane point for like where like the heel will be. So that's why, like I said, it's just slightly over 2.5. So we'll just give him a couple little round spots this way. And then we'll run this one up this way as well. And we'll, like I said, we're just we're mapping them out. We're learning how basically how the figure runs, so that way you can do a nice accurate portrait to them. Now, by using the three circles and then giving the little slash, now when you look at him, even though he's not together, you can already start to feel Mickey is correct, because everything is starting to line up and go into place. So now that we got that, we can start putting more and more details as we go along. So also we'll put in Mickey's nose. Mickey's nose is not a ball, it's not circular. So it actually has sort of like, it goes narrow and has a little top point to it. So, and it usually runs up like this. Kind of has a point like that to it. Alright. If I'm going too fast, let me know and I can slow it down. It's no problem. So now what we're going to do is with the nose, or the mount nose for it, we're going to actually start to bring this all the way around, and we're going to actually turn it so that way I can use the way everything curves this way. So that way I can put a nice smooth line, because we're actually going to bring it in and we're going to do his smile. His smile, it's like that. And of course he's got the little loop to show the curvature. Okay? And then down here at the base, we're going to give him his lower jaw. Alright. And we'll put the curvature up. And now we need to do is we need to get also the black part of his head, because he's not all one color to it. He's going to have a two-tone. And it kind of has like a widow's peak that runs up at the top here. That goes between for that. And that's another nice thing about mapping out this as a sphere, because when you go to roll it or wrap it around it, you want to, or it looks like it lays over it. So let's see if we can get a nice little, see how much harder it is to do it that way? If I actually take them and I flip them upside down, I can actually take this and I can actually follow the curve a lot smoother. And we actually want to bring it out a little bit more, so that way it looks like he doesn't have sideburns, but it actually runs up and it shows more of a width to it. And then here we're going to bring this up and then down, so that way you can see the smile to him. Okay. Now also up here we want to give him his nose and show how it overlaps, because we're actually going to, his nose is in front of his face, it's not off to the side of it. It's kind of strange how his ears stay always in like that type of position, whether it's up, whether they're up here or they're that, or he's looking the opposite direction. So, alright, so let's go ahead. Let's see. And we want to bring his Mickey doesn't have shirts. Like the original Mickey, all he had was his, what color were his pants? His shorts? They were red. Did he have white buttons or yellow buttons? Do we remember? It's been so long since we've seen him. But he had his pants that kind of rolled on up. And he had to where they actually had a little bit of a bagginess. They weren't like flush to everything. So we're actually going to give him his pants now and run it down. And we're going to bring him up like so. And we're going to roll it this way. Then bring these.
It's me. I was calling to chat with you a little bit.
And then we're going to bring that pant leg out. His pants. And of course he's got those two big buttons. Two big buttons in the front. Alright. Pardon the noise. Just gotta get a little bit of sharpness on this because it's not my mechanical pencil. So, like I said, that's the reason why we do all the leg mapping and stuff, so that way it looks right for when you put the other ones. Mickey's looking great. Well, thank you. So now we'll take this and we'll start bringing in his body. We need to map because he's got gloves, he's not barehanded. So, and he's got those big overlapping areas for the gloves.
Bye, hon.
So off of that, we'll run this over to where it looks as where it goes around the actual hands, or the arms. As you can see, it'll go over the arms. And of course, we'll just run that one up. And then Mickey's got 3 fingers. Real simple. So let's see if we can just map out 3 fingers. Got 1, 2, and then the third one kind of shows that it's wrapping around, so we'll kind of do it that way. Kind of. This one will be the one that shows all 4 of it. And then a lot of times they just kind of do this just to show the glove the way it folds, and of course he's got his little palm piece. So we'll do that, and then we'll run this over and the thumb up. Simple way to do his hands. So from there you can do the same thing on the opposite side. You're just going to be carrying it over. You can do the same thing for a little palm portion here is what you'll have. And of course we'll have 1 finger. I'm going to bring the other finger just up a little bit. Bring that way. And we'll do the same thing like this. And it doesn't go, it starts to flatten out here because this is where his hand actually goes up to his thumb. So I'm going to run him up, curl it around. Okay, we'll do the same thing, give him his little, so we got the hands now. Push that excess lid off. Okay, now Mickey's feet, they have the same thing. It has these little ringlets that are around his shoes as well. So we're going to actually we're going to bring it around. That way it looks like it goes around his foot. Okay, and then we're going to actually take this and we're going to make it look like it's wrapped around his leg nicely. See? And of course we'll play with his feet. His feet might have to come out a little bit more than what I originally just kind of mapped out. But that's why you do it that way, and you can always work outside the lines. Trying to make this curve and stuff, and instead I should be turning my page like that, so that way we make a nice clean curve. I'm just trying to do it so you guys can see it without me rotating the page all over the place. So do that, and of course we'll give him a little spot for his feet for the show, and we'll do the same thing over here. We got to put this over there, and we're going to do the same thing. Give him a little wrap around. And we're just going to hit that way, and we'll do the same thing. We'll give him this little Alright, we got the basic of Mickey. So now you can put this away if you want to ink them, and being I did them a nice good size, I might actually go to, let me see with my 0.5. Yeah, I might. Let's make it a little bit bigger. See, maybe I'll grab one or my brush one. Get some more. Let's just do the brush. I'll use the number one. Number one will be fine. So now let's ink Mickey in. So we'll run that up. There we go. Did great on him. Well, thank you, Brian. So, we'll ink him in. I might actually go to my brush pen. I think I like my brush pen. It's a little bit nicer, I think. So, I'll use the brush tip. See how that one comes out. This one might come out a little bit nicer. Oh, yeah. Follow the curve. This up again, and let's see if we can just nice and quick and easy. Alright. I'll go back to my one. Hand isn't quite steady right now. That's a little better. So we got that. We'll run this one on up. And this one on up. Have you guys watched anything interesting recently and stuff? Any good shows? Any good movies anybody's been watching? I've actually been on an old TV show kick where I've been binge watching like Home Improvement, Seinfeld. Let's see. Run them out a little bit further. There we go. And even then I can see his ears are just slightly off. And that just takes practice to get used to having that look right. Let's roll these up. There we go. was called New in Town on Netflix. It was pretty good. Yeah, I haven't checked some of the new stuff out lately. I have to. Let's see. There was that one that I think has Daniel Craig in it, The Glass Onion, like it was like a murder mystery or something. I was curious if that was any good. I heard it. Some people said it was pretty good, but. See, I'm jumping around. It's not a new movie. Renee Zellweger and Harry Connick Jr. in it. Oh, cool. Let's see. I'm curious to see the new Mission Impossible movie once it gets ready to come out. I've been watching some of the stunt footage that Tom Cruise has been doing. It looks pretty insane. He's definitely a thrill seeker. No, it hasn't come out yet. I'm waiting for it. I've watched a couple of the trailers and stuff, or the little sneak peeks on it, which look pretty cool. His Top Gun Maverick movie was pretty good that he was in. That was they definitely did a good job on that. So. Let's see. Let's run this guy across. And let's just kind of run that way. And as you can tell, when I look at this, I can see little things I need to adjust or fix on it the next time I draw Mickey. Of course, like I said, I haven't drawn in a while, so I'm a lot of practice. But still. Even with that, that's the whole thing about drawing. You can do another one. You draw it again. Practice makes perfect. Makes it getting better. Anybody can draw, and it's very relaxing, very fun. Especially when you finally get it to where it lines up and goes the right way that you want it to. Take your time with it. Just kind of let it flow and enjoy yourself. It is very, very pleasurable. Very satisfying. Just a second. We'll see if we can erase some of these lines. Maybe I'll roll it out. Hopefully I won't shake everything out trying to roll it out. Let's see. Clean up some of these construction lines and see how Mickey came out. So as we clean them up, so there's little things that we need to adjust on, but hey. This is all practice, this is all fun. So it's not quite exactly perfect. This is why you do it. The one I saw recently that was pretty good was based on the Nicholas Sparks book called The Best of Me. It was from several years ago too. Yeah, there's been only a few newer movies that I've really enjoyed. I don't know why. I think it's just when they push all the agenda stuff in it instead of making a good story. When they make a movie that has a good story and it follows like whatever period they're working on or anything to that, and they're not just trying to include everybody in there, and it's just, it that really kind of puts a damper on it. It's also on Netflix. Cool. I'll have to check them out. I did get my final part for the 3D printer I've been working on, fixing up and whatnot, so I got it all together finally, and so tomorrow, on my birthday sometime, I will definitely be doing a test print on that, do some calibrations. But I want to offer promotion of your channel viewers for your chat box. The price lower and comparative quality is guaranteed to beat. Does Mickey have a tail? Mickey does have a tail. Very good notion on it. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on. Go to dodgehog.com. Okay. Yeah, you are absolutely correct, Frontier Man. Good eye. Mickey does have a tail. So based on where his rear end would be, his tail will come out like that. It's not really long, but it has a nice little curve to it, and it goes thin to thick. Good eye. Let's go to point 3 here, and let's give Mickey his tail. Then I'll give him just a slight thickness on it. That way we can move that way. Very good. Now, what we can do is, if we want, we can actually to make it feel really like Mickey. If you wanted to, you could actually blacken here, his legs, his head, and his nose. We could probably do that too. Let's see if we'll just give him a little shine on his nose. And if we wanted to, let's go ahead and do that. Turn around. And of course, we'll just do a little shading just so you can get the idea of what Mickey. All the dark areas. Put the pencil to the side, and we're just going to do a little quick shading in. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. That way, you can actually see how Mickey will look. I agree with the new movies and most new shows have all that political craziness. TVT is going the same way, drumming it into us that everything needs to be inclusive. Can't just have white people in clip art, for example. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't have one period specific thing anymore. So it's kind of interesting. Can't wait till they start hitting cavemen and women. They go, oh, start having to have Asian cavemen, African cavemen, and women. Well, I mean, that's enough. Why don't you just enjoy a good story? You know. So that's the problem. Is they got out of storytelling and got into just trying to make everything politically correct for everybody. And you know, not everybody likes all the stories. It's just like opera. Not everybody likes opera, but shoot, don't stop making it. Don't stop doing it just because there's a few people. It's insane because the children really don't care. Yeah, a lot of them they probably don't even see it until you say something. And the ones that do see it are ones always looking for a problem with usually is what they're always looking for, something of some sort. That's something that's definitely a good wise piece to it. If you go looking for problems, you're just going to find them. So anyway, there's a Mickey. Simple, quick little piece to it for mapping them out. So let's flip them over and we'll go to another page. What time we got? 7:30. Let's see, who else did we do? Mickey was one. Let's see. Exactly, which is a small percentage that do look for something. Yeah. What else we want to do? Maybe. Let's see. Great job on Mickey. Thank you, Brian. Let's see what else we want to come up with. So, what's another Disney character we'd like? How about Minnie? Oh, okay. You want to do Minnie? We can do Minnie. Let's see here. Let's see. Minnie. We might be able to pull that off. Minnie is very close close to Mickey. So, looks good. Thank you, Frontier Man. Let's go to my mechanical pencil. Let's do Minnie with a mechanical. That way we can just kind of see. This is these pencils are great for especially if you're doing like figure or gesture drawing and you're using very large scale pages and stuff. So, all right, Minnie. Minnie. So Minnie's going to be the same way. She's approximately 2.5 heads tall. So what we'll do is we'll start out with a circle. See how I'm using just my whole arm, so we'll do that, then we'll do another one. Be the same size. Do a third, same size. Look like you're doing a snowman, just not getting smaller. And of course we'll run a line across. Just past half. Same thing with Minnie is with Mickey, where she has the same thing with her ears. Her ears will be like this. And we'll have same portions that way. So, and of course we'll do this cylinders. So it looks like this is a sphere, so we're going to have the curve. This will be the eye area for it. We'll do the same. We can put her in the same position as Mickey was. And we can do the same thing for the nose. It's an oval. Alright. So, and of course we can actually do Minnie's nose too. Her nose is just a little bit softer. It doesn't have quite as the point at the end. It is round, and we'll actually bring this out. So, Minnie's got the same thing, the big hands, the big feet that match up to it. She's got the same proportions for the body and everything, so we can run that over this way. And we can do the same there here for the body. Okay. We can do the same thing here for the legs. Across to where we make sure we have the same positioning. So that way you have the same layout for it. And of course, same thing, shoulders and stuff on Mickey and Minnie, they're really close to the same. So, we got a picture from Crazy Quilter. We'll have to, we'll see if we can either post it today or we'll post it on Thursday's live stream. And of course, we'll do Minnie's as well. Minnie's hands. So, and this time we'll do about this, just slightly smaller than the ears. And we'll put her hands up, so we'll do the same little piece that way. And we'll put the thumb this way instead. Okay. Make it look a little more dainty. It's little subtle differences and stuff to it. So, and of course, we'll run up here. Same thing, has the looks like a slight widow's peak. Run this up. Okay. We'll do the same thing off here to the right. This is going to be actually behind part of the body, so you're not going to see too much of it because it's going to be going away, because we're actually doing foreshortening to where this is a little bit more forward and this will be back, and then the body's in the center. So forward, middle, back. So my simple thing. So we'll run that. You can do it that way if you need to project the same area for the arm and stuff to it. So clean up your little construction line. And we'll do circle this way. We'll put the hand up this way. We'll put the thumb out this way. Alright. way this is running, we want to map the body to where it actually runs this way. So let's use the center of the body. Still looks like Mickey, just the hands are a little bit differently positioned, see? So it looks like we're still drawing Mickey out. Of course we'll do. And we'll curve this in, we'll bring this smile, but Minnie's usually has a bigger smile. So we need to make it look like she's got a good smile to her. So we're actually going to bring her smile out a little bit more. That chin around. That way. Still looks like Mickey, doesn't it? Kind of cool, huh? Little smile. Looks like we're just putting them in a different position. And of course, the difference here is where Mickey's feet were flat, Minnie had heels because she was a girl. So this is where we're going to have a little bit of a difference. So instead of it going up or flat line to there, we're going to have a slight drop. So now they do look similar, see? Now right now, because we haven't done anything else to it, it looks like Mickey wearing heels. It's kind of funny. So this is where we're going to start changing it up now. Now it's going to start, we're going to start changing up to Minnie. So we're going to put the little ball a little bit higher back because the ball up here is for her bow. She's got a nice big old bow. This is how simple you can show a gender change that we all see and feel. You can tell that it's different. So we'll run that up. Put the other bow up that way. Bring it down. Let's bring it to where it wraps around your head. So see, now it's starting to look a little different now. Still looks a little bit like Mickey. Now he just has a bow tie. Or a bow tie on his head. Got a hair bow. So now we'll see if we can bring this around. We'll run it up. Now it looks like Mickey with the dress on. And then of course the bottom part here, you had her it's not underwear, but it was something else that they always wore that had like the little frillies and stuff back in the day. Forgot what they're called, but we'll just call it underwear. So she had the little frilly stuff. Like that. And here we are going to make her look a little softer by bringing the line out a little bit further. Where Mickey's was a little bit more tighter. Or did you give Mickey a dress? Just kidding. Yep, that's what it looks like. It looks like Mickey's got a dress. So, exactly what it looks like. And of course, we've got the gloves, so we've got to put the little piece there. This is what changes it up. This is the biggest thing that they did to make Minnie look like Minnie. Right here, they go 1, 2, 3. 3 eyelashes. 1, 2, 3. Petticoat, that's what it's called. Thank you, Crazy Quilter. And that is the simple little thing right there. They gave hair bow, 3 eyelashes for each eye, a dress, petticoat, and heels, and suddenly it's Minnie. Pretty cool. Nice little subtleties, like here they made it softer, where Mickey was more of a sharper curve in, and his pants showed that it was of a male gender. So, and then here we go, we got the other part here. Let's get her glove. Yep, same layout, different details. And of course, then this way now, we're going to see the thumb for basically your little palm, the way your thumb runs. See? So as I turn this, you'll see here and that. So we're doing the same thing there, just to show the same layout to it. And what we'll do is we'll bring this up a little bit, bring it back out to show the separation of that and the fingers. So bring this straight up, little curve. Bring this one as a slight raise. Let's bring this up like that. There we go, it looks a little bit better. And then we'll bring the little palm piece for that hand. Okay, let's now what's interesting is her feet, when they go in, she got like the big open top areas for her heels. So they almost look like they're like the wood ones, like what's that? The European is little wood type clogs. And let's take this, bring it around. And right here, we'll give it a little. What looks like it's got a little crease in it for her foot. And here we'll go like that. So we got one here. Run this down and around. This one will have this inside. Do the same thing here. Bring it down. Flat spot. Dutch shoes, yeah, little wood Dutch clogs, Dutch shoes. Just on it today. So do that. There's for the fingers because it's the gloves. So this will help show the middle portions for each. So we'll take this, run it up, and we'll put that in between. Nice little simple way that they can map it in between. We'll take this one, run it up, and then this one we'll bring over this way, and we'll take now. Let's map out Minnie's face. Got the same little top portion there. It doesn't look too bad. And we'll do a little bit softer. Let's go ahead and go to our longer. Let's go to 0.3. And let's put me in. I'll be back in a bit after shower. She looks great. Alright, Brian. We'll see you in a bit, bro. So we're going to take this and we're going to up. Circle around. Around this way. Now we'll take it down. Up. Let's move around that way. Do the little tongue. Down. Now what we'll do is we'll bring this up. This will roll up. And we need to bring it that way. And let's up and around. And we got the ball. And let's bring this up and around for the bow. This will show that it's that way you can see the depth of like the bow is kind of like rolled around. And of course we got just here the hint for ear in the back. Right there. We got the other ear back here. So we're gonna go like so. And let's bring that up, around. So, got the glove. Don't be afraid to rotate your page around. That way you can get the nice little curves that you need to put in. Makes it nice and easy. Spin it around, get it to where you can follow the same curvature and stuff. And this guy we want to put the stress in the front of the hand so that way you can see that it's actually going behind the dress or the skirt. Run it up. Run it like that. Do her petticoat. This crazy quilter pointed this is what this is. A petticoat, the bottom half. And nice little swoops and checks. And even then, these pencil marks are still guidelines until you do the ink. The ink gets a lot harder to take off. So even then you might have still a little bit of adjustment that you'll make. Bring that up, down. Right there. Got one. Let's do the other leg first. eraser marks. So you basically saw Mickey. And then Brian asked to say, let's do Minnie. And Minnie is essentially Mickey with just a couple little changes, or add-ons, as you would put. Same thing, 2.5 heads tall. Mickey's just slightly over 2.5. She's right at 2.5. So that way it shows a real close height change, but very subtly different. She's subtly shorter. But you don't know that because she's got heels. So they have her in heels, so she becomes just slightly over 2.5. Alright. So we got that. There is Minnie. Minnie is essentially Mickey. Not bad. Quick little sketches. Practice drawing. We'll throw in a little shading here so that way you can get a little bit better of an idea. Legs are black as well, or if they had stockings on. I'm trying to think. I think up here she had a shirt, so it's not dark up there. I was getting a little ahead of myself with that. So let's clear that off. I believe she was that one. I think she had stockings on, but let's just do them and we'll just blacken these out also. So we'll just do that. That should be just fine. Just to get the idea. And flip it over. There we go, Minnie Mouse. Alright. So, real simple. Gotta remember these characters were done for animation, so they're always real simple. It's 8 o'clock, so I think we'll swap over. Do you want to do some more cartoon characters, or do we want to work a little bit on the anime piece? Or we could actually do some more of the rendering with the markers with Chip and Dale. So we can always do that if we want to. You can see some rendering. Actually, you'll get to see what happens when you let it dry like this right here. You're supposed to go over. You'll have to be really good with what's called rendering, where you actually will run just along the line of it to where it barely picks it up. To where when it dries, you won't see that line in there. Like so. And these are watercolor markers that I'm using for him. So, we can... Alexa, be quiet. Every now and then she gets lonely. I'll tell you what it is. It is time for some water, though. So, I know. What we can do is let me pop my phone real quick here. I think somebody sent me one of the pictures. Let me take a look at it real quick. Oh, look at that. We got a Mickey. That's definitely cool. We'll post that on next week's. Alright. I got some TikTok messages. I am on TikTok now also, guys. So I'm working on getting a live stream with TikTok too. But I got to get up to 1,000 followers on that. It's getting there. As soon as it does, I can then be able to get a live stream type thing with TikTok. So anyway, let's work on this a little bit. We'll do some inking of this, get some of this brought in, so that way we have it taken care of. Work on some of these lantern pieces. I will just have a little bit of a relaxed time. Don't have to have me chatting away on how everything works. Colors really make a picture pop. Yes, they do. Colors really make a picture pop. I can show you, actually. Let me, I'll show you the one, because actually with the new camera, the pictures that we were working on with the colored pencil, you can see how much the colors make a picture pop out. Then, actually I'd have to pull them out of the portfolio. But what we can do, actually, you know what, we'll do that. Let's work on Chippendale. Let me grab the cinnamon. That's what I'm using, the hot, oh actually not hot, it's cinnamon, it's hot cocoa. And, oops, my chat window went away. Bring that back real quick here. Perfect. Let's do the larger one. We'll do a little bit of work on these guys. Some people like to. This is using with a thick pen or a thick brush. I should change the nib out on this, but I haven't yet. What's going to be nice is I'm going to go over with a different one to add some shading to them. But by doing this, where you literally just brush up against it to where when it bleeds over, it has a very minimal line to it, and that's called rendering. And also the nice thing is these watercolor markers that I'm using, it allows you to, they stay wet longer. They don't like immediately dry or soak in so fast into the page. So what we'll do is we'll this one piece here. When you're doing larger pages like this, you don't want it to be all streaky. That can happen a lot, especially like with alcohol based. You can get streaks unless you're really good at having, or you have a wedge for it. Let me flip it over here because it's getting tighter. And a lot of times you'll have a wedge type marker, which allows you to really butt up against it when you actually do your draws on this, so that way it doesn't look like it's got any line work in it, or any bleed over to where you're getting dark light to where it looks like zebra stripes. So let's go ahead and we'll do Dale. We'll leave this as it is. Let me just pop that off and we'll work through it. Now I don't color through the black ink. I try to stop before it. So sometimes, like watercolor markers, I don't ink first. This is sort of an afterthought doing watercolor. Using a watercolor marker, I typically would watercolor first, and if I didn't want to, then if I was going to go back over and ink it, I would. So let me clean up some of these eraser marks I still have on them, because those guys are going to show up and come through. Let's see how we want to do this. Let's run it through here. And basically that's all I'm doing is I'm running it from tip to the end of the last one for the marker piece. So that way, as it dries and cures, you don't get those lines through it all. And you notice how I'm not actually going through that other ink, that other black line there, just because I don't want to risk it possibly grabbing some of it, even though this ink has been dried on here for a bit. There we go. But yeah, the watercolor markers I like. They give you have a little bit more slack in this because they have a tendency to stay wet a little bit longer, to where you can actually render this way. Did you put puffy sleeves on Minnie? I'm a little slow. I don't think I had puffy sleeves on her. I think I had her just that long sleeve shirt that she'd wear sometimes. She does have a dress-up one where she has like a puffy sleeve thing. It's like a different outfit that she has. But I just put her in a regular outfit to it. But yeah, she has like that summer dress one where it's got the short puffy sleeves around here, but I didn't bother putting it on. Okay, so. And this is also a base color to it. I can actually add more on over it with the watercolor. Another picture came in. Up and down area, so you want to add a little bit up and a little bit down so that way it doesn't dry on you to where you get those lines. So you kind of run back and forth. And that's also why typically if I was doing watercolor to begin with like I knew it was, I wouldn't use the ink, so that way if I did go out a little bit I could use the ink to cover up some of it. But nope, I didn't put puffy. Let me take a look. I don't think I did. Let's see. I like your Chippendale. Yep, I do too. Nope, she just had the regular long sleeve. Yeah, the short sleeve, the original lines they had was little puffy pieces they would have there. That's old school Minnie. This one I think was probably from the 80s or 90s Minnie with, I think it was called Mouseworks. So let's go back to the fat one because we got a larger scale piece. So we're going to run that and get a nice wide piece to it. These are chameleon watercolors, which are interesting because if I wanted this to be like a faded and toward faded from a light cut cocoa to a dark cut cocoa, there's actually a brush pen that comes with this that actually you could actually put on there, and it actually allows a thinner on it to where it actually dilutes it a little bit. And I'll show you how that works. I don't use it too much because I like the vibrance of it, and I like to use the other colors to make the tones to it instead of just making this lighter or darker. Now, if I was looking for a particular tint, I'd do that, but it gets a little. You don't have total control over it, in my opinion. But that's just me. Somebody might be really good at working with these guys. Now, the colored pencils, we can have a lot more fun with, in my opinion. I like the colored pencils. I got another picture. Oh, looks like I did. Let's see. Crazy Quilter showed Minnie also. I'll post those on Thursday's live stream. And let's see here. Alright, so they have sort of like a lighter tan or sand color. I'm trying to look at my watercolor markers down here. That's an orange. To see which one. Because it's in a big, maybe the light peach. The light peach match. It might. Let's save that to the side. I was looking for more of a sand color. Maybe the bisque. Bisque? Yeah, that's more flesh. We're looking for sand. A sand look. That's fawn. No, that's not what I'm looking for. If you can see it off to the side, I'm working on that's caramel, and that's going to probably be too dark. Yeah, it's going to be too dark. I typically have, I got a reference page that I did a little bit back. Oh, here it is. Let's see here. Ah, that's a lot better. Yeah, maybe it's down this way. The sand. sand one looks right. Yep. Yeah, this is what I did with my watercolor markers that you can see. Is I did basically a swatch on them using the same pencil area, and you basically put the tip, there we go, with it, and you have it to where you can match. Helps you also for basically a little simple color swatch piece. Alright. I almost had a Darkwing Duck reference. Let's get dangerous. Let's get drawing. I'm back. Chip and Dale are looking great. Awesome, man. Actually, I'll show you a mini. Now, Crazy Quilter pointed out that I didn't do like the old mini where she actually had the little puff on for her sleeves. So I did the one where it's more 80s, 90s where she had like a long sleeve piece to it. That's sort of the revision piece to it. But it's basically Mickey with eyelashes, a hair bow, a dress, a petticoat, and heels. Kind of interesting. But it works. It was very simple to be able to identify the difference. So, but we're working on playing with this guy a little bit here so that way we can... Oh, I noticed something. I noticed something that I missed. We need to put... That's more like it. I did not see that. Let me go back to the hot cocoa here so I can get that filled in because Chip was missing his middle portion. That's bark. We want hot cocoa. The color is hot cocoa. Not light peach. Light peach was something else we had. Where's the hot cocoa one? I don't want to get them all mixed up. It's hard seeing down here. Let's see. What do I do with it? I don't got it sitting anywhere else, do I? Let's take a peek here real quick. I think I got them mixed up. Yeah, I pushed them down a little bit. There it is, hot cocoa. Alright, let's go ahead and get this portion out. Because I was like, something didn't quite look right with Chip. Now this, like I said, is his base color. We're going to add some shadow to it also. And we're, like I said, we're using watercolor markers. I'll be able to speak in a moment. But yeah, since Brian, or Hopkins Brian there, I said this request, as soon as I get done with him and stuff, I'm going to send this on over to you. You'll have the original like this, watercolored all up. So. Have to come up with maybe a little background we can put on them too. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but let's see. We're going to probably want to go to even that lighter color because I think that their snout and mouth are always a little bit brighter. Let's see. Yeah, I think we'll do that for them. Let's see here. This will give it a nice depth piece to it. Doesn't look like much on here right now because it doesn't really have too much of a blend to it at the moment. But you will see just how cool it turns out. I think we'll do it that way. This is where I'm thinking ahead on the shadowing and lighting that we've got to put with it. Put that off to the side there. Now let's see if we can. fat brush one is you can get a lot more ground covered on it, a lot less strokes. But I'm going to flip back over. Thank you. Can't wait to hang in my house. Well, you're welcome, Brian. There we go. Now, it might not show up on there, but you see how that slight little light change and stuff, it shows his snout. So now when I go to do some shadowing and stuff, that'll even bring it out a little bit more, which is pretty darn cool. Okay, let's go to the fat one. That way. Get the rest of his lighter colored fur done up here for the base. Let's see if we can do him as well. Do his lighter colored snout. And his lips be lighter colored as well. I think we might do just to there like that. Doesn't look too bad. Down around the eye. Start to bring some life to them. They look pretty good inked out, but once you get that color in there, you can really make the picture come to life. And it's very rewarding to see it pop out like that. Like and doing the drawings portion of the at the start for you guys that want to draw along, and then the second part, it's more like you guys get to relax, and I'll handle the drawing. Get you warmed up into that way you don't feel like you're running your drawing for 2 hours. You'll eventually get there to where you'll notice that time will pass by. Put a couple hours on a piece and you have a hard time putting it down because it's starting to come out and it's starting to work so well. Your hands are moving right. And you really start getting into it and enjoying yourself. So you have a hard time putting it down then. It's very nice. Very fun, very relaxing. Very enjoyable. Very lucky. I get to do this, and my work is very relaxing too. Let's put these guys back up. I'm going to grab the hot cocoa because I missed another spot on Dale. Hot cocoa. So I'm actually going to grab the small ones that way. I'm not. There we go. And Dale kind of has an interesting. He almost has like a. Let me grab my color swatch again so I can pick some colors out of there from my watercolor pieces. He almost has. His shirt's a crimson red. His nose is a mixture of a pink and then has like a burgundy type feel to it. Probably a brown red. Let's see. Let's try that. Yeah, the cinnamon. I think the cinnamon will work on the outside, and we'll probably do an RD2 for the inside. No, that's pink. Almost. That's 3. RD2, red coral. So put that back off here to the side. We'll do the light first, so that way if we don't stay in the lines. And then we put a cinnamon color to it. Should give it a nice change of depth to it, where you can see his red on his nose. It looks pretty strong right now, but it should dry a little bit better on that. But it does kind of match his nose a little bit better. Looking great. Thank you, Frontierman. So let's see, RD2. Come on. No, I'm missing. Oh, there it is. I made my art box myself, so it's kind of set up to my layout. What do we got here? Oh, we need to do the inside of his. I think we'll use RD5 to do the inside of the mouth, and we might actually go back to the RD2 for the tongue as well. That will kind of bring it in. So let's try RD5. There's the 2, 3, 4. That should be 5 right here. Yep, burgundy. Let's see. That way you'll see the inside of his mouth, but it's not that bright. As it dries, and then back to the RD2, the red coral. This should be his tongue. He does need to have his little. There we go. Gotta have that little ridge for his tongue. Let that dry just a moment. Then we'll work on the hat, the jacket, and then we'll come up with an idea for our background. We might, I don't know, we'll come up with something. Let's see, red coral. Make sure we're putting the right color down. There we go. Very vibrant feel to it. So RD5, 4, 3, 2. Let's see here. He's got a really. It's kind of the jacket is a little bit richer. It looks like. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do a combination. We won't do. Maybe we'll start with BR1 for his hat. Even though it's going to look light, we'll do BR1 to start with, and we might blend it in with another color. So let's grab BR1. We can work light to dark. Oh, that's a new 4. 1 over. BR1. Taupe. So like I said, this is going to be light, but we'll do it use it as a base. Yeah, it's looking nice. about the watercolor markers. Keeps that nice dampness to it. And I'm also using this is a 260 or 280 weight paper, so it actually holds well for the media. So what we're going to do we're going to do this, even though this is going to be darker in the back here, we're going to do it all the same color, so that way when I do go to tone it down and bring the darkness, bring a darker shade into it, we won't have to worry because we'll have a base color to it all. So BR1 is what we used as the base. Let's do BR4, so we got, it should be over here I think. Nope, keep going off. That's 3. We'll get it eventually. BR4. Yep, burnt umber. Yeah, oh, nice rich color for his jacket. If you guys use watercolor markers and stuff, you're going to want to have the urge to go back and catch some of those little light white dots. That's why you do the main portions first, and then you hit it just like that. Cleans up any of the inner portions that you don't have, just like so. But yep, nice little watercolor markers. Messages and stuff. Maybe I got some other people sending me in some drawings and whatnot. Alright. Whoops, that's the diluter. Let's go ahead and run this up here on the edge just to clear up some little dots. There we go. Run it back over to the fat one while it's still wet. That way we don't get any streaking. Pressing hard when I press this across. It's just enough to get to where it wants to lay down a little bit, to where you have a nice clean edge, and that the tip I can watch as it runs along the line. That way it reduces the amount of streaks. Pretty cool. See how it looks a little bit deeper, and as it dries, it starts to dry out a little bit nicer, and it gets has a slightly richer color to it for his jacket versus his hat, which is pretty cool. We're going to do a little bit of blends of difference to where we can make them look like they're still different, but they'll be using the same colors. Maybe I'll go back to the taupe and do his bottom part of his the elastic part of his jacket and the taupe, and then I can put in maybe a grayish color. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. That's hot cocoa. Where's the BR1 at? Did I put it in the wrong slot? 5432 BR1. There it is. That's the BR1. So let's see if we can work around that a little bit. There we go. We'll have to shade that in correctly. There we go. They look amazing in color. Yes, as you keep working on that, they end up looking better and better as you go. Like I said, just keep working on it, and it'll look great. Let's see. Now this is the fur on there or the I think it's called fleece, or the wool or the fluff that's on the aviator jacket. It's kind of like almost like a warm gray. So that's the base. So maybe because when you look at it, This is the cool grays, and the warm gray you can tell it doesn't have so much as a blue on it. It's more has a little bit of yellow to it. So let's see. Black, 69, 8, 5, neutral, warm 7, warm 3. Let's do warm 3. That should give us a nice tone to it. And when it dries, it should be a little lighter of a color to it. And then we can dries and stuff. Once I let it dry fully, I'll go back over to warm gray again, and I'll drop it in another area, give it a little bit of a tone to it, which will make it work for a shading or shadowing. We might actually use that for his band up top too. Let's see, and I'll show you. You do this as a lighter, then I'll go over it again. Dry a little bit, to darken it out a tiny bit. So, not too shabby. What do we got here? 840, like almost 840. Water. Let's see. Well, what do you guys want for an idea for Thursday's piece? I mean, do we want to do any particular cartoon characters you want to see done, or would like to, is there a particular thing you'd like to learn how to draw, or to try, or something you want to play with? We can do that for the first part of it. I mean, is there something you would like to, do better on? We can always work on something together with it. I mean, we can always do gesture drawing stuff. I mean, I got somewhere I have a figure drawing I was working on earlier because I was working on a larger piece. So, but if there's something you guys want to do, by all means, let me know, so I'll write it down here, and that way on Thursday's list, I mean, if it's something like you're having difficulty with, like drawing hands, figuring out heights, or if you just want to see like some of your favorite cartoon characters that you remember, would like to see how they're drawn or laid out, we'd be more than happy to do that. Have some fun with that. Let's see how this. Grab a tissue real quick. This is a neat little way I can check to see if it's damp. They don't typically draw. It doesn't pull up. It doesn't take long for it to dry. On a different type of paper than this, you can usually tell if they're wet a little bit longer, but it'll also start to, warping. So if you're going to use watercolor stuff, like a marker and stuff, make sure you have at least 250 weight or heavier type of paper on it. So it's also good for colored pencil because it's got a real smoothness to it, to where you're not getting so much little pits or dots and stuff in there. Some winter stuff like snowman, maybe a man or woman skiing, or a child ice skating. Oh, cool. Let me grab my pencil here. Oh, Thursday. So you we can work on you want some winter stuff, basically. Winter stuff. Maybe we'll do some cartoon winter stuff. Valentine's Day is coming. Oh, okay. Valentine's Day stuff, too. That's another good idea. We can work on some stuff like that. Unless someone else has an idea. No, it sounds great. We can do winter stuff. Valentine's Day would be pretty cool. Maybe we can come up with some neat ideas to where we can do some drawing stuff to where if you want, you can work on try out some ideas that we could have and come up with some neat Valentine's Day things. Print it out into a card if you want, and heck, you could even use it on your teacher pay teacher site, Brian. I know you use artwork for a lot of the kids programs and lessons that you create. So, alright, these should be dry enough. Now we're going to take the same warm gray 3. And what we're going to do is we're going to make this darker by running over it one more time. And by running it over when it's dry, it's not going to blend, but it's actually going to put another layer over it. You see how darker that looks for that one compared to that warm gray? Yeah, you do. Cool. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to use the same thing there for here. We're going to keep that same light color to it, and we're going to actually give them a little bit of a area to where you can see. Oh, let me know if you girls hear that. Let me know if you hear my girls. I think I start to hear a little bit of them. We're almost near the end. One day I'll catch them. And by doing this, it kind of gives a little bit of depth to it. So let's bring a little bit of shadow from his face here, because we're not going to hit too much of the color with that. So now, by doing that, I'll bring it up a little bit closer so you can see. You can see how it starts to give a little bit of the shadowing right there. And that would be funny when you catch them. I know. Well, it's going to be when we hear them loud enough that you guys can hear out what they're saying. Then they got to come out here and they got to say hi. They got to be on video. They don't want to be on video. They don't like it for some reason. Okay. It's 8:42. We got about 15 minutes left and stuff. Got some pretty neat ideas. Let's take the glove off here real quick. Go ahead. They do look awesome. I'll do a little bit more work on them, and I'll put some different tonal pieces onto it, and I might actually add some highlights with maybe some of my Jelly Roll ink stuff just to polish them up a little bit. Maybe we'll do a little graphic for the background, and then once they're done, Brian, we will give a little. Well, I'll trim them up if they need to be in a. Probably see what type of frame they could probably fit standard into. Either like a 9x12. I think they got 9x12 frames, or they got 8x10s, but this is definitely bigger than 8x10. I'll have to look and see what the easy frames are to buy, and then we can trim them out, and that way they'll be able to put in a frame for you. And then this will come on over to you, and let me put him off to the side here. And let's see here. Let's see if we can work on some of our ideas and stuff that we have. So we got winter stuff, Valentine's Day stuff. What type of Valentine's Day stuff do you want to do? Do you want to do like, let's see, what would we like to work on? Maybe a piece for, we could always do a typical girls, I think. My mom doesn't even like to be in pictures. Sounds great to me. Thank you. You're welcome, brother. Let's see here. Let's, for the Valentine, the winter stuff was a good idea. Let me look back up there again. I think it was snowmen. So the winter stuff, we'll do snowmen. Idea, some skiing stuff, and Valentine's Day one. Maybe we'll do a Valentine's Day card. Maybe we'll do like a couple of little Valentine's Day card images you could do. To do some cute. Maybe we'll do some. Maybe we'll do some little kawaii type art characters, little kawaii characters, real soft and real piece to it. Maybe we'll add some kawaii stuff to that. We'll do that for Thursdays. Kawaii characters. Alright, so for Thursday. It's not only is it my scratch pad, but it's also my little notepad. So anyway, guys, girls, thank you for hanging out with me. We got some pretty neat stuff done. We'll do a little quick recap. Of course, we did some watercoloring of Chip and Dale. We did a couple of lines on our New Year's Eve picture. As you can see, I'll bring it up a little closer where you can see putting in some of the areas for the back festival area. It's tough trying to put detail but not have it too detailed first. So we did our Mickey, did our Minnie, and we had a pretty good time with it. Nice relaxing time. I think I got some pictures from Crazy Quilter. If somebody else did some drawing stuff, hopefully I get some of that. That would be pretty darn cool. But I'm going to sign off so I can hang out with my girls a little bit, maybe get some schoolwork done. I got a typography assignment that's due tomorrow night that I'm going to get finished up. You guys have yourself a great day, great night, actually, for me. And we'll see you on Thursday, okay? So, of course, as always, God bless, take care, and let's create something together. You guys take care now. They all look great. Have a great time on your birthday tomorrow. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it, brother.